Well, see, that's where I feel like I'm a true nerd, because there's like 3 things that I can obsess over, and there's other things I'm interested in, but there's 3 things that you can ask me anything about it, and I got it. I got it. You asked me some random-ass Star Wars question, I fucking got it.
Cool. When did Return of the Jedi come out?
1980... New Hope was 1978. I want to say Empire Strikes Back was 1980. Maybe 82.
Okay. I had no idea. That's a random question.
Well, that was a dick move.
Yep, that's me. Dick move number 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wait, What Are We Talking About? Podcast episode 35. It's me, aka Enigma 9011 Brett, once again with Kevin, Paddywhack 1993. We are coming to you live from twitch.tv/Enigma9011, where you can watch this podcast every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you have topics for the show, feel free to comment them down below or join our Discord and put that in the specific tab itself. We are also brought to you guys by the merch store. That is our sponsor today. You get all of your Enigma 9011 swag, t-shirts, backpacks, and more over there, and support the stream and support the channel. Alright, so topics today. We got a buttload of them. Not really. But we got one that will be a good one, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that's about it. Kevin! What's your topic?
Jace.
Year off, 1980.
Damn.
Ooh, real.
Wait, for Return of the Jedi, really?
Pre-show shit.
I don't know. Alright, well, good to know.
Yep.
I guess because like your topic and my topic kind of somewhat go together, I guess I'll do my little mini topic.
Sure.
To go into it.
I'm down with that.
So Christmas is an awesome time of year. I don't know if you've noticed the same thing or if anybody on the chat's noticed the same thing, but it seems like people just get a little nicer towards each other around Christmas time. Maybe the good feelings, or I don't know. But I heard a couple of stories of people just doing really nice things this time of year, and I think it's good to hear these kinds of things, because I know, like, I get... I was close. I was a year off still, but I got the 1980 for Empire Strikes Back, right?
There you go.
So, there was a story of a woman I saw on Facebook, actually. Her daughter was born like wicked premature, and she has like lung issues, not cancer, but like real bad lung, like maybe her lungs didn't develop enough or something before she was born. So this girl's like maybe a year and a half, 2 years old. She's a cute little thing, and everywhere she goes, she has to have an oxygen tank, like you see the smoker people have. So the mom has to take her all over the country for different medical procedures, and it's just like, it just sounds absolutely terrible. And I can't remember what the story was, but the dad isn't in the picture. Like I don't know if he passed away or something, but so it was just the mom and the little girl.
Yep.
So they were getting on a flight to somewhere in the U.S. for a medical procedure, and this poor little girl, I wish I had a picture of her, but she's just like cute as a button, you know, and she's got the oxygen, like, you know, nose tube or whatever. And so when you're, I think, under 2 on an airplane, and you're with your parent, they only have to buy 1 ticket because you're small enough where you can be on their lap or whatever. So the mom and the daughter go to the, you know, wherever their seat was in the back of the plane, and the stewardess comes up to him and says, one of the passengers in first class saw the little girl with the oxygen tank and everything, and they requested to trade seats with the mom and the little girl so that they would be in a more comfortable seat and everything. And the mom just starts breaking down crying, you know, and she got to say thank you to the guy, but he didn't really want any attention. He just wanted to give up his seat, which, I mean, I've flown first class before. That's an expensive ticket, and this guy just out of the goodness of his heart just gave it up, and that was I read that was pretty touching. Forrest Gump, you remember Lieutenant Dan?
I have not seen the movie, but sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As Lady will attest, Brett does not see any movies.
Well, the guy who played Lieutenant Dan is an actor named Gary Sinise.
Okay.
He's done like a bunch of other movies, like Apollo 13. Like he's pretty successful TV career now too. I want to say he was on like CSI, New York or whatever. Anyway, he just bought, I think, 1,500 military vets' families that are like on deployment. He bought them tickets to go to Disney World or Land or whichever one it was for the holidays. Just said they had something fun to do while their father or mother or whoever is overseas on deployment, and that was just, that's, again, we're talking about 1,500 families. That's probably a couple thousand more tickets.
Oh yeah.
That was real nice to. I don't know. It was real nice to hear. And then there was something else I was thinking of. I saw when I was flying back from South Carolina, I had a layover in Baltimore, so I went to go get something to eat, and there was a guy seated near me in the food court, probably about our age by the look of him, blind. He's got the that finder stick that they have, or feeler stick, and this poor guy is, he's by himself, which I've seen, blind people traveling before, but they've usually got somebody with them to guide them around. This poor guy's by himself. And I noticed a couple of things that were really cool. When he finished up eating, he was like gonna throw away his like McDonald's bag or whatever. Somebody came over and grabbed the bag to throw it out for him. Said he didn't have to try and go find this garbage can in the middle of this airport, which I can only imagine has to be like finding a needle in a haystack like that.
Yeah.
And then two, there was one point where he had to to get to his gate, he had to go down a flight of stairs. And, handled it like a champ, felt the edge of this, stairs, started reaching for the handrail and whatnot. But I noticed all these passengers that were going to other gates, clearly going to other gates, saw him going down the stairs, and they kind of just formed around him a little bit, not to not to help him like in like the here, you can't do this yourself, but they stood by just in case, to grab him or something. It was just like these people were I could see them before this happened. They were rushing to flights, and they all took time out to kind of watch this guy go down the stairs. And I don't know, it's just little things. It's nice to see people, I don't know, just being human, like in a good way, because like so many times he's like I know, like when I was traveling back home from school, sometimes I'd be like in uniform and everything, I'd be walking around the Penn Station there, and people would like be running for trains or whatever, and they bump into you and they knock anything you have in your hand like out of your hands onto the ground, and they just keep going out like an I'm sorry or anything like that. And it's just like, come on, like you can't stop for 1 second to help me pick up this crap that I just dropped, but I don't know, it's just really nice to hear people doing good things for people around this time of year. It just kind of restores my faith in humanity when I'm usually convinced that 80% of them are just tools, to say the least. So yeah, just I guess the last thing of that little mini segment is, if there's anything you can do this holiday season to lend somebody a hand, or be there for somebody, or just do anything, I used to go to finish this off, I went to when I was a kid and we were in Lake George for the summer, we used to go to a church in Bolton Landing, which is right like maybe like 10 miles up the lake or so. And they had a quote on the church bulletin or whatever that I used to really love, and it said something like, unless somebody somewhere offers a caring ear or a helping hand, somebody else may lose the will to live, or something like that. And the message is, the little things that we do to help people could be the thing that, I don't know, gets them through their day.
Yeah.
Because, you see guys like Robin Williams. Man, that took me by surprise. Because this guy, and maybe it's just an act, what he puts on publicly, but that guy was always happy, always laughing. Like, just when you heard that guy got to the point where he gave up, I'm like, man, if that guy is somebody, it can happen to anybody. So the more really good things we do for the people we run into, interact with, you have no idea what that one nice thing you did could really do. Just keep that in mind for the holidays, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that could I mean, holidays are great, but anytime, honestly.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the smallest things that go the farthest, and, like, sometimes you just gotta be a little bit more patient with each other. Like, if somebody's in a rush, not being upset with them, or, like, okay, traffic. Like, sometimes there's always somebody that needs to get somewhere. Like, okay, we're not trying to hold you back on purpose. We're all on the same, like, we're in traffic, we're doing what? A little patience. I understand you need to get somewhere, but everybody does too. It'll work out. But if you rush it, sometimes things happen, and they're not intended to happen, and it can be worse. Like, so there's that, and yeah, like you said, just the small things, like even just saying have a good day or whatever. Like, back to the holidays thing, like, kind of gonna tie religion into it, and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but when someone says Merry Christmas to you, whenever I hear it, as someone who has practiced the, Christian faith, whatever, I never take it that way. I'm like, it's kind of like a have a good day kind of thing. Like, if someone said it to me, I wouldn't be like, praise Jesus, kind of thing. Like, no, it'd be like, have a good day. So, like, I understand it's more PC to say happy holidays, and that's fine too. But as long as someone's wishing you something, like, enjoy your day, I don't understand why, like, if you don't practice it, that's fine, but don't, like, take it for the positives from it. Don't take the negatives that you might see from it, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. And,
like, actually, I liked a couple things you just said, so I might segue off of them real quick.
That's fine.
But, the holidays, for a lot of us, I think we're very lucky. We love our families. Our families love us. The holidays is something we look forward to because we get to be with these people at this special time of the year. Mm-hmm. Then there are other people that don't necessarily have that. And the holidays, the reason why I bring up the holidays is because for so many of us, this is like one of the most joyful times in the years. And then for other people, this is one of the loneliest times. True. Because they're by themselves and it's time where everybody else is together, And real quick detour. Mm-hmm. There's that song by Collective Soul, 90s band. Had a lot of really good music, but they had this one song called The World I Know, and it's kind of like talking about this, like, and I think it's actually more applicable today than it was back in the 90s, but they were basically talking about how, like, where's the kindness gone, where's this gone, and blah, blah, blah. And I love the song, and I was looking at the comment section, and there were a couple of people that said, and there's no reason to lie about this because it's anonymous and everything, they're saying, there was a time in my life where I was going to end it, and I heard this song on the radio, and it gave me they gave me enough to get through it. And I got thinking about that, like, well, if that person hadn't heard that song, would we be reading this person's obituary, And so you never know how close people are to, not going on.
Right.
And then going back to the other thing Brett said that I liked is when I went to school in Long Island, there's a lot of Jewish people down there. And, Hanukkah and Christmas usually fall around a pretty similar time frame.
Yeah.
So, and this isn't true of every Jewish person because there's different groups of Jewish people, yeah. But, like, if you see, somebody with a yarmulke on or whatever, that they're Jewish. Mm-hmm. And so when I would interact with them, because I knew that they were Jewish, I would make the effort to say Happy Hanukkah because I want to recognize that that's a special time of year for them.
For sure.
But also, like you said, even though for Hanukkah it is absolutely a religious holiday, where, like, Christmas is a religious holiday, but then it's also a secular holiday.
Yes.
So when you're wishing Happy Hanukkah to someone, you are wishing them in their faith, like a religious, like, goodwill. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But where was I going with this? If I absolutely know what somebody's background is, like if it's Hanukkah or whatever, I'm definitely gonna wish that to them because I want to let them know that one, I support their ability to celebrate that time frame, but then two, I want to let them know that I wish them the best during that time frame. Merry Christmas, I think, like you said, I think like amongst my family who I know, like, are in myself, like the people that I know are church going, or like people at church when I'm there for Christmas and I'm saying Merry Christmas to them, and I definitely intend it that way. But if I see like when I was buying something the other day at a store and the lady says Merry Christmas and I say it back, I don't know what her background is, but I'm just saying, like, for this time of the year, I hope it's good for you. Mm-hmm. And I had one person once, and I don't know if it was in New York City or whatever, where I said, oh, Merry Christmas to you, and I don't know, they snapped something like, I'm not Christian, or I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm like, it doesn't even matter, man. I'm just hoping that, I'm just saying I hope that this is a good time for you, you know? But instead of getting in a tiff with them about this, I was just like, okay, well then, you know, happy holidays, whatever. And I was just like, I don't know why you had to flip out. Like, it's like, so like there's people, like I said, that are Jewish that maybe don't wear the garments or whatever, and you wouldn't know that they're Jewish. Right. If you say Merry Christmas to them, you know, and I'm not Jewish, so I can't speak to it, but if I was, and somebody said that to me, and I know that they have no way of knowing, I wouldn't get offended by it. It's because, you know, how are they going to know? Right. And number two, they're wishing me well. If they knew I was Jewish, they would say Happy Hanukkah, you know?
And that's another just even small thing, like you mentioned, was going out of your way to do or acknowledge whatever they're celebrating or doing. Like, that's it's such a small thing to do, but can go the farthest. Like, I care enough about you to know what you're doing. Yeah. And so here's my effort towards that. Yeah. Like, you don't have to rub it in their face, like, you know, kind of thing. But, like, it's a nice gesture. Yeah. To know that and then do something about it. Not just be like, yeah, well, good for them or whatever. So, yeah. It goes far.
Yeah, no, you know, it's, just consider if you're somebody like Brett and I that love the holidays and we look forward to it, just recognize that maybe not everybody's like that, or maybe not as fortunate to have that, and just go out of your way to, especially this time of year, because of how lonely and sad it can be for certain people, just make sure whoever you run into, try to be the light of their day for that day, even if it's only for a moment. Just give them something where they can sit down in the middle of the night and go, you know what, I did meet one nice person out there, you know, it's not all bad.
Right. And to build on what I was saying about, like, that little extra effort, like, I know we've been kind of on a holiday focus, but it separates the how's your day to, oh, how's so-and-so, this and that, like, specifics. Like, it's a small difference. They both mean well, but this one just has that little bit more oomph and impact. Yeah. That, like you said, if somebody is feeling that down and you hear that, oh, somebody cares about what's going on with my dad, somebody cares about what's going on with my job or my pet or whatever it is, like, it doesn't even have to be the biggest thing, but, like, it's, sometimes it means a lot that you remember certain facts about some people. And it's not a bad thing to just say, like, hey, how's your day? Or I hope you're doing well, things like that. But, like, that little extra sometimes means a lot. And you don't even maybe not mean it to mean a lot, but it can.
Well, and the funny thing is I like that you said that, because I was reading, or when I was in college still, I went to visit my aunt out in California, and right near her home was the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. So you can go there and see all of his personal stuff that, you know, was saved. Like, you could see his, like, football cleats he wore in some movie he was in and whatever. But one thing I kind of learned about him that I've tried to copy in my life, especially when I'm at work, is every time he would meet someone and he kind of had a feeling that this was somebody he was going to see again or need to work with, he would always try to remember one or two facts about them, like that they had a dog, or like a wife with a name, you know, whatever her name was. Yeah. And then that way, every time he would meet that person, he would have one absolute fact that he knew about them, and he would say, hey, like, how's Marge, your wife, doing, and whatever. Yeah. And the guy would be like, oh my God, this is the President of the United States, and he remembers my wife's name, you know. And whether you liked him or not, or his politics or not, people from all around different spectrums of politics loved that about him, that he would actually take the time to remember something. And I don't know if you remember Mr. Hengsterman from high school. Yeah. He met Bill Clinton when Bill Clinton was a president, like, early on. And Bill Clinton, like, was shaking his hand because he was in the line. I don't know if it was like he was meeting with teachers from New York or whatever it was. So he said, well, hi, what's your name? He says, well, I'm Richard Hengsterman, you know. And Bill Clinton looked at him and he goes, do you mind if I call you Ricky? And he goes, oh, that's fine, Mr. President. You can call me Ricky, whatever. You know, what are you going to tell the president now?
No.
But there was something like a year or two later where Hank Sherman was at some event or something, and Clinton was there. And he saw Hank Sherman when he was shaking hands with him, and he said, Ricky, how you doing? It's like, this dude actually remembered. And it's not like the Secret Service or some like assistant are gonna like keep track of this guy because he's just some random guy. But he knew, and I've heard this about him, like his ability to remember people. I mean, can you imagine what that would do to you if this guy who met you once for a second comes up to you and goes, "Hey Brett, how's it going? Like, how's Pays?" And you're just like, "Dude, you're the president. Why would you?"
Who cares?
So I mean, like, I'm not like necessarily a huge fan of Bill Clinton, but like it's just such a great thing to just remember, and it just lets people know you care enough to remember something about them. It's more than just a hello. And then, kind of going off that a little bit, our generation or our new era, we've gotten away from doing little things that I think we do not really understand how much that they are needed. One of those things was when I was a kid, my parents were huge on the three of us kids writing thank you notes. And sending them to people whenever they gave us a gift or something. And now it's just like a gut instinct of mine that when I get a gift from somebody, I write them a thank you note. Now, people don't really do that today. They'll send a text or something. Yeah. But it's kind of like the same thing about remembering something about someone. By writing that out and taking the time to write it out, you're letting a person know that not only did you appreciate it, you appreciated it enough to take the time to send that note. And it's just a little bit more. Yeah. Either way, they appreciate, like, if you were to call them or text them and say, hey, like, yeah, I really appreciate that. But when you take the time to do something like a little thing like that, might seem like a little thing, might only take you 3 minutes, but to them, that's a huge deal. Yeah. So, yeah, never underestimate how such a small thing can be such a real big thing. And it's nobody's fault that we, a lot of people don't do that anymore. It's just, it's a changing of culture. It's a changing of, people don't really write stuff anymore, but just like a little example of what I thought of, kind of going off what you said, just putting that little extra effort in with people makes a huge difference. For sure. So that's like my mini topic that lasted a little bit longer than I thought it was going to.
How it usually works. 2.5 hours? Oh, wait, that was last week.